I love the fall time at Dollar Tree, looking at all the picks, florals, craft items, and the $125 price. Dollar Tree isn't the same store that it used to be. Here's everything that's changing right now. Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Eppley, and this week I'm going to talk about a couple of things that's happening at the Dollar Tree that made me really cranky and I got to be an old lady on a soapbox. But I'm going to show you exactly what I've discovered, what's changing, what's staying the same, and if you'd like to stay to the end and find out what's happening with my kitchen, feel free to stay. But let's get started. So I walked into the Dollar Tree the other day. I wanted to pick up a couple of little things, and I noticed that most of their merchandise just had red dots on it. And usually when you're walking around Dollar Tree, it has the banner that says $125. You know that that's the base price. I didn't know what the new base price was, so I asked the manager who was walking by, and she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, it used to be the Dollar Tree. Now it's the $1.25 tree. I've heard your prices are going up, so what's the base lowest price?" And she says, "Everything has a different price. There is no base anymore." And I don't know why. Maybe it's I'm getting closer in my older age, but that really upset me because she said the only way you can know the price is by going to the scanner and scanning each item. So that means I get to either go back and forth and get all of my steps in to find out what the prices are before I make a decision, or I load up my cart and get a surprise because some of the top prices are now as high as $7. So let's go back to the floral picks. These have always been a staple for crafters because we know we can get beautiful picks for $1. These days, with them being $1.75, I want to caution you to look out for other places. Right now, Michael's has an amazing sale going on with beautiful fall floral picks for only 99 cents. And Walmart is seizing this opportunity with Dollar Tree raising their prices to go as low as 97 cents. So, as always, you are going to have to check prices. Look online first because we don't have time to drive around and check store prices all day long. But at least looking online first will give you an idea if you're looking for a large quantity of florals, if you should get them at Dollar Tree, Walmart, or if a better sale is happening at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Now, another area I'm noticing a big change. I had the luxury of having a store that stayed $125 for the longest time, and I kept seeing videos about the Dollar Plus area. My store didn't get it until just about a year ago, and most of the things were $3 to $5. Now those prices say that they're $5 plus because I think they're segueing into much higher prices, but currently they're capping out at $7. Now again, the tricky thing with this is things are not always clearly priced. This tray I thought was absolutely adorable. I'm guessing it used to be a max of $5. I flipped it over and it had the old red tag for $5, but now they've put that cute little red sticker on it and marked it handwritten at $7. I noticed a lot of previously priced items for $3 and $5 were now marked up to the max of $7. Now, some things are still coming in at $125, but you have to go to the scanner and find out what it comes up with. These two identical sets of socks were in the same area. One rang up for $1.25, the other rang up for $5. Another area that has stayed the same so far are the Hallmark cards. 2 for $1 is a steal. Except I've noticed that this section is now completely truncated to just a little 4-foot section, and all of the rest of their cards are now Hallmark Expressions instead of the Hallmark Heartline for $1.25 each. Now $1.25 a piece just makes me sound like a crabby old lady, but it makes me a little bit grumpy. Nonetheless, it's still a great price for a quality card. The second thing I was worried about, because this has been a staple for me with the Dollar Tree, are their storage bags and containers. So I walked over because you know I love using the big gallon and 2-gallon size bags for my organizing and storing miscellaneous items and sorting things. They do still have the bags though. This particular store had a much smaller section of it. I'm hoping that's not a sign of things to come. They did go up a quarter, so the base price for bags is now $1.50. This bag of 6 of the super size, these are almost 18 inches by 18 inches, which are great for storage, was $1.50 for 6 of them. That's not so bad. And then the larger gallon size bags are also $1.50, but right now they have bonus sizes. Make sure you check through those boxes. I found some that were normally $13, some that said bonus with $15, some with said $16, some said bonus $18. So look through the boxes, get the best buy for your money. Now, doing the research for this video, I noticed one of the things Dollar Tree is really pushing for is getting brand name items. I did notice full-size bottles of Excedrin and Tylenol. They had on their list of prices Benadryl, but I didn't see any of that. That's still an affordable price compared to what you would get at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. But that makes me wonder if they're going to be getting rid of their generic brands, which for me, when I was a single mom really struggling to get things for my kids, those dollar cold medicines, antacids, and pain relievers were a must for our household. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning of things that are going to be changing at Dollar Tree. Now, the biggest area that I was fearful of having changes is the Crafter Square area. When they first launched this, it rolled out pretty slowly, but it gained so much momentum during COVID and lockdown. I am hoping that they leave this as is, because for so many of us, these dollar items or $1.50, $1.75 items are about the only way we can get some of these supplies. Now, some of the items have been discontinued, the first off being the vinyl. It got a lot of negative feedback. I never had any issues with it, but I wasn't really using it with my Cricut. I was using it for other items with crafting. A lot of the stores are still blowing these out at $1/4 a roll. So if you're using them for things outside of your Cricut and applying them for iron-ons or other items, I say grab them while you can, even if it's just to wrap a box. I think this still has a lot of value, but it will be going away completely. So once those clearance items are gone, they will be gone. Another item that is no longer is their glue gun. The Consumer Product Safety Commission did issue a recall on these. I had never heard of this, so if you had heard that or had experience with it, let me know in the comments below. I completely missed out on hearing about that one. Now, going back to the wood items with the Dollar Tree, I want to gently suggest that you really look at the price of what you're getting and compare whenever possible. These pre-made boxes are amazing because if you don't have the saws or the woodworking skills, being able to just take a wooden item that's already prefabbed and turn it into something creative is amazing. That being said, these little wooden planks, they are 2 inches by either 1 inch or 1/2 inch. I've noticed both sizes, and they're usually 12 to 16 inches. At $1.25 or $1.75, depending upon your store, these, in my opinion, are a huge ripoff, because if you look at line, even the big box stores will sell the same furring strips for $1.68 at Lowe's or $1.53 at Home Depot. These are 8-foot strips for $1.53, which means even if it's only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, you're only spending a few cents more to get 8 feet worth. And if you have the big box store cut those wood pieces down, you'll have 6 of these at only $1/4 a piece. So this is so much more economical. So on planks of wood and things that are just a flat item, I would caution you to see if there's a less expensive alternative out there. But if you really don't have any other resources, you don't want to drive over to a big box store, wait for them to cut it, then by all means continue. For me, I hate seeing people get ripped off, so I always want to recommend another alternative so that you can save money and have more crafting supplies. Now, I've heard people say in the past their Home Depot or Lowe's does not cut wood. This is going to be a whole separate soapbox for me. I've been at both of those stores multiple times when I ask for someone to cut a basic piece of wood, and I get the, "We don't cut wood, ma'am." Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's on their websites. It's a courtesy that they offer. So unless it's an MDF, which could potentially cause any hazards if inhaled, They will shy away from that. It's not prohibited, but some stores will shy away from that. If it is just a basic treated lumber, they absolutely will cut it. And if you've got somebody who's not being as willing to oblige, take the few extra steps, politely ask for a store manager, and just ask if you can verify the wood cutting policy. I have done this many times, and many times I've had the manager go, because somebody just didn't want to do their job, and that's the sad truth of it. So if you've had an issue before with them not wanting to cut wood, just go up to customer service or ask for the manager, verify if the policy has changed. Every single time I've done that, somebody has walked over and cut the wood for me. Now, another thing that has changed, but you might not have known about this, is Dollar Tree accepts manufacturer coupons. They are now limiting this to 1 coupon per item, because a lot of people were stacking these up. They are also limiting a maximum of 4 coupons per manufacturer, per customer per day. And they are now also limiting this to only in-store. I had no idea they were even offering this online before, so I missed out on that. I always forget that Dollar Tree takes coupons for name brand items. So if you see coupons, keep them with you as you're walking around the store. Sometimes I've gotten things for free because they'll give you $1 off coupon, and the Dollar Tree at the time was also $1, so all I had to pay was tax. So if you didn't know about this, nothing's really changed for you. If you were using coupons in the past, this might adjust how you use them, but I'm thankful that they haven't eliminated this altogether. So what's the real problem with this? For me right now, it's when I look at something and I see a price versus just a red dot. I don't know what the price is, and the only way I can find out is by finding one of these price checkers and scanning it to find out if it's $1.25 or if it's the max price of $7. So you are going to need to do this until they level out their pricing and decide which price point they want to target. I still love the Dollar Tree. I obviously shop there often. I love watching all of those DIY with Dollar Tree supplies videos. I have feeds on my Facebook and on my Instagram and on my Pinterest, so I'm always getting ideas. But I have been noticing that oftentimes I can find a similar item that they're displaying at the Dollar Tree for less at Walmart or at Michael's or even online. So check out those things and really decide for yourself which is the best bang for your buck. Now, if you've stuck around towards the end and you would like to hear what's happening with my house, last week I didn't post because I was mourning. I was mourning the floor. We had gotten our wood floors refinished right before we moved in here in December, and we noticed that they were starting to buckle around the sink. So we called our home warranty company. They came out and they said, oh yeah, you have a leak underneath the dishwasher. We can fix the hose. Don't worry about it. We said, great. What about our floors? They said, not our problem. We don't do anything that is a result of something failing. So we called our home warranty company, and the guy came out and immediately just started tearing up our floor. I was not prepared for this. So at first I thought they were just going to be taking a little bit of wood out to see what was happening. This also revealed some black mold that was in there, so they thankfully chemically treated that right away. But they had to keep removing more and more sections of the floor until they finally got to an area where there wasn't any moisture. They had this cool meter that read exactly how much moisture was in the wood, and also so they could get the dishwasher out, because whoever did the floor in here laid it over the existing floor. So all of our floors were even, and then there was an inch about step up only in the kitchen area, and it had a transition so we weren't tripping over it. But they did that after they put in appliances, which meant we couldn't pull the refrigerator out. We couldn't pull the dishwasher out. We also can't just remove cabinets. So all of the kitchen flooring has to come out. This also exposed that there was water damage to the cabinets, so they're going to have to put new cabinets in. So we're trying to look at this as a big blessing. It's a nightmare. It's chaos. Our refrigerator, dishwasher, and a couple of other appliances are all out on our back patio right now because they had to move them out to find out how much the water damage spread out. If you've been with me for a while, you know when we first got to this house, the pictures were spectacular. Regrettably, my husband and I did not come out in person. That will forever be one of the biggest mistakes we ever made because he had just had surgery and traveling was just too hard. We trusted the inspector, the appraiser, and the photos. It was a mistake because even though these photos look pristine, if you look at this picture of the kitchen and you zoom in on this stove, you can see it's very old, but you also see that that little panel where the knobs are is completely skewed. When we got here, the house was filthy, and when I went to clean the stove, I noticed the whole glass portion on top just slid around. Removing that exposed some pretty nasty stuff, and when I lifted up that stovetop, I can't even describe the things that I found her, and I apologize for even showing you this. So the stovetop was something that we wanted to replace someday. Because the kitchen is torn up right now, we decided to go online. Amazon had a glass top for only $159, and it's working like magic. I never thought I would be so happy about a stovetop, but if you need a stovetop that's affordable, I highly recommend this one that I got off of Amazon. The other good thing that I'm looking at is deciding what I want the future kitchen to look like. They're going to have to tear out some things. We may as well repaint the cabinets to a color that I like, consider new backsplashes. So again, I'm going to take this as a plus. Another high note I'm going to leave you on is little Kylo is getting so big. Yzma is still trying to decide if she wants to be friends or foe with him. She'll snuggle with him and she'll try and play with him, and then his little baby teeth activate and she says, nope, go away. So I'm going to thank you for watching so much today. Please hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more of these videos. I'm going to be doing a DIY of a Halloween favorite that's going to seamlessly transition into Christmas. I'm super excited about it because it's affordable and it's also easy to store. So stay tuned. Bye.